Well, Jim, a 1-1 draw. What's your reaction to that result today?
Well, you can see the obvious threats of Nuneaton and why they're in good form. They've got a couple of players up front with good dash, which stretch you. And then, because the back four drops, they've got players who play in pockets. And so they played well and probably deserved something out of the game. But again, a little bit disappointed that we didn't show the little bit of quality that was needed to maximise the opportunities we had.
You were slow to get going, but when you did, you could have been out of sight by half time, couldn't you?
Yeah, but I think you know, we're playing a full-time side, so but what we need is a touch more quality in our game. I think there was we had plenty of effort. We worked really hard. We got up the pitch. We got good set plays. We asked a few questions of them, but like I said, it just maybe that final ball, that final shot. The final cross, that set plays in the right zones were all just a little bit of edge of quality missing today.
Sefton missed a great chance in the first half. Is he starting to get a little frustrated he's not found in the back of the net yet? Well,
he'll get frustrated, the fans will get frustrated, and we'll get frustrated, because when the ball comes in like that, they're not sitters that you have, but you should be able to steer them home. Whether it be the one at Fylde, we've had loads of opportunities like that, but you know, we can talk about the bits that are missing from our game, but we've come a long way this season, and I think you know, with the recruitment very much in process for next season, we know that we're going to have more quality next year and better players. So, but that's for next season. This season, we just got to maximise our opportunities, and unfortunately, a couple of our players just didn't show that quality that was needed to get that first goal, to get the second goal, and like I said, see the game out. Like I said, I didn't think one goal would be enough today, because their record is that they score in every game and they concede in every game, and they've been quite prolific, and you can see the threats they have.
Having said that, when the goal came, there was a huge slice of luck about it, or was there? What was your take on the goal?
Well, it's a difficult one, because you can be too critical of people, and okay, it's a deflected shot, but I think like last week's goal, we've got a back four that sit off a little bit, or a back three that sit off and allow people to get shots, or allow people. And I think the whole game we were a bit scared of their pacing behind, so the back four sat off a bit, and they didn't balance off each other well enough and challenge and cover. You know, we wanted to. With second half, we set out in a certain way because with Smalls, and I was disappointed that Sam Minham was in a better position with the back four. Perhaps he still had a wing back mentality. Yeah. They've come inside and got a shot off. They did that last week. I mean, we can all criticise Connor Hampson at the back post, but that's a centre forward peeling off. There's no pressure on the cross. We had this at Kidderminster. No pressure on the cross. Ball comes in. People are in good areas, but not in the critical areas where people are scoring from. Look, we tried this last couple of weeks to improve the way we defend, stop crosses, get into good zones, squeeze the box. We need to keep working it until the players are doing it to a T.
You mentioned Chris Small. He's come off again, obviously carrying a knock. How is he?
I don't know. I'll have to speak to the physio. Again, he's not done anything traumatic. He's obviously felt his back with that bad challenge last week. Missed Tuesday, trained Thursday, seemed okay. I felt we knew that they'd try and target the left back area for Chambers, and he had no intention of playing the ball. All he was interested in doing was just bumping Smalley and getting some change, and he did that quite well. And a lot of referees allow them bumps in the air to go on unnoticed, and so those half fouls, I think, took their toll on Smalley, and he felt it at half time. But I'm not worried about Smalls going off. I think it gave us an opportunity to bring Kane on, to go a little bit more 4-2-3-1, get a little bit. But I just felt our players, the wingers in particular, didn't know how to play this shape and get themselves in pockets, so that when we won the ball, that they were free to get a run at people. They seemed to be too high. But again, that's the difficulty when they play. They used to play in a certain way, and then so I had to change then and just go 3-4-3. We played 3 up against their 3, and really we should have got more change out of that.
In terms of Danny Lloyd, it's kind of written in the script that he was going to score today. Very unlucky as well not to get a second with that effort that came off the uprise. And of course, he's the Player of the Month for March. He must be pleased about that, because he's really kicked on this season, hasn't he?
Yeah, and I think I mean what that, and this is something that we have to take stock. And anybody who wants Danny Lloyd, they've got to realise that the reason we've got so many goals out of Daniel Lloyd is we've allowed him to play as an inside striker. He's not been outside and getting his fair share of goals and fair share of assists. We've allowed him to be inside, quite close to the centre forward, and get themselves into positions characterised by the second opportunity, where he's right in the mix. Same on last Saturday, he's playing almost as a 9 or a 10, and like I said, that's why we changed quite quickly to the 3-4-3 to allow him and Kane to play quite close to the centre foot, the big man, and I felt we could have created more opportunities than we did, but we did create enough opportunities to win the game. So I'm disappointed with the possession, the territory, and the crosses and the set plays we had, that we've only come away with 1 goal. But that's been the story of the season, I guess.
At one point today, you were up to 3rd in the Life League table. That lasted for about 10 minutes. You're now 7th. It just shows there's going to be lots of twists and turns before the season's over. Yeah,
look, the staff are feeding back what's at half time. I've no interest in where teams are, because I know there's another 45 to go, another 50 minutes to go, and it's all about us just getting the best out of the game. I didn't think we got the best out of today. I think we could have, like I said, maximised our opportunities, got ourselves into an unassailable lead. And then been able to tighten up and play on the counter-attack. But the game was always stretched. We know in the next 6 games that we have to have a plan B, that, you know, if we're chasing a game, we may lose games like that while we chase that winning goal. I think I was asked before about this unbeaten run. We got a 1 defeat in 19. There's too many draws, and throughout the season we've had a strong mentality to go and, you know, when we're either losing or drawing, to go and win the game, and we did that really well last week. This week it was probably just the lack of quality meant that it was just a little bit too far ahead of us.
Next week, of course, away to Gainsborough. There's been some big county wins there down the years, but what are you expecting from them? They've been beaten quite heavily today. Yeah, well, they were down to 10 men, and that's the. So I think we're at that stage of the season now where there's going to be a lot of madness. People are losing their heads. We're hearing all sorts of stories coming back from the teams that are above us losing, and I think the most important thing at this stage of the season, you've got to keep your head. The games get hotter, the pressure gets a little bit harder. Our players have shown tremendous discipline throughout the season, both physically, mentally and tactically, and I think that what we've got to go there is expect a team that's highly motivated, raise our game to match that, and just keep playing our game, work really hard, be efficient in what we're doing, ask the questions of them, and provide equality in the final third, and I think we should be okay. But they're all tough games. Like I said in my programme notes, after last week's results, we can't take anything for granted. I mean, we're talking last week that Nuneaton beat Fylde 4-1. Chorley got beaten 3-0, Solve got beaten, but they're not sneaking wins, these team blows. They're actually turning teams over at the top. So permutations, possibilities, they're endless. At the moment, we just got to go into each game. We're a little bit deflated and disappointed because of the way the results have gone today, but we're very much in the mix, and next week the mood will all change if we win. So we'll work hard this week, focus really hard on the game, go to Gainsborough, expect a wounded animal to be coming at us desperate for points, and just maximising what we can get out of the game. That's well said. Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks so much.